Hey, a female University of Utah student just filed a hostile learning environment complaint against a male professor, mostly because the economics texts he assigned for her to read were written by, you got it, white men. I mean, it must have a real bearing on the actual information if it comes from white males. If it comes from white males, we know that 2 + 2 can't equal 4. Could we perhaps ask these SJWs to just give us one more allowance? And that would be to stop using these terms like hostile learning environment. Hi everyone, I'm Gardner Goldsmith for MRC-TV, and let's commiserate for a moment and see the constructive lesson we can derive from a new example of social justice warrior leftist collectivist absurdity. Now, according to Christian Snyder of the College Fix, a 22-year-old female University of Utah student reported her professor to campus administrators for, among other things, assigning too many historical texts written by influential male economists of the past. So the student didn't think certain texts were necessary to teach the subject because, of course, as a student there to learn about the subject, she already knew enough to understand it. QED. Okay, well, she continued, quote, "I believe it to no longer be necessary when teaching the foundations of our country's economic system and those who help build its ideals to be presented in conjunction with their sexist beliefs that have already planted their roots within our global and local communities," the student stated in her complaint, filed in December 2018 and recently obtained by the College Fix. So besides splitting infinitives more often than nuclear scientists have split the atom, she noted in her complaint that the authors of said readings embraced sexism. Now, I've read and taught a lot of economics, and the only so-called economist who I've ever seen write in favor of sexism was, in fact, the collectivist Karl Marx, who in his Communist Manifesto actually praised the patriarchy, calling it idyllic. She didn't seem to mention that in her complaint, but this University of Utah student also says that this is no longer necessary, which makes one wonder if she thinks there might have been a time when sexism was necessary. Anyway, regardless, assigning these readings is hostile, as she says, as is the joke that she claims the professor made that come the robot apocalypse, the professor would be in Tahiti eating grapes hand-fed to him by beautiful women. Now, hey, evidently this woman didn't like that. She had thin skin, but she has a right to complain. And the management of a reaction like hers would be easier if this were a private institution in a competitive system rather than a government-run tax-funded school. In fact, there's actually a lesson about economics hidden within her complaint about her economics class. Private system, insulted people don't have to pay. They can withdraw their money and go someplace else. You get more options, and competition allows for those systems that are pleasing consumers to rise and those that are insulting people to fall. Government-run system, everybody has to pay, not everybody is pleased, and everybody fights over what's going to happen in the system. It's amazing that out of this complaint, she could actually learn something about economics. In fact, she could also learn something else. A little social commentary she might pick up. And this actually comes from one of my dad's favorite philosophers. When my father went into World War II, he carried little black books with him, and he would write aphorisms from some of his favorite philosophers. He often wrote his own. And one of his favorite Asian pro-liberty philosophers was Lao Tzu, the founder of Taoism. Lao Tzu was famous for saying, among many famous sayings, "You can find the measure of a man by the size of the thing that makes him angry." And I think Lao Tzu's words might be something that perhaps students might want to keep in mind when they show such thin skins over the textbooks that they're assigned in their classes. Hey, thanks so much. Thanks to my dad, and thanks to Lao Tzu. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and tell your friends about us. We'd love for more people to hear about the videos we're producing at MRC-TV. For MRC TV, I'm Gardner Goldsmith.